Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm painting today, so you can keep me company if you would like to. I'm painting for the journal, of course, and some swatches, and then I'm going to paint a background so that I can cut out some Tim Holtz dye leaf in some neutral fall colors. So I hope that can be fun. So go and get something to paint on and keep me company and just have fun. We are not going to do any masterpieces at all. So don't be afraid to try. Just play, have fun, and if you think it's totally disaster and ugly, you can throw it away when we are done. If not, you can use it as collage paper or something other fun you can think of. Use it as a background for something you paint on, or use your die cuts and cut out some colorful pieces to use as ephemera. I just want to relax and have some fun today. I'm doing some embroidery on the cover and the flip for the journal, but I needed to take a little break. It was a bit too intense for my neck and my fingers, so I had to take a little break and do something else. So I'm painting, and then me and Nico is going outside to play for a little while. That's a nice way to be able to do something else. I'm just dabbing in some more colors to get it a little bit more intense. It dries so much more light. Okay, leaving that to dry for a while. And then I have these pieces that are painted with acrylic paint, and I think we can use them as some kind of journaling card or pockets. Maybe we should do some other shape. Take a 005 instead. These are just roughly cutted shapes, and I'm just going to paint. Let's do one up here instead. And when you paint with watercolor on top of acrylics, it gets this beautiful texture. Let's start with some Van Dyke brown. can see you get these drops and this texture that makes looks like you have painted on concrete or something like that. The acrylic makes it non-soakable. Is that a word? You know that the paper can't soak up the color, and it kind of lays on top of the surface and make pools and patterns that I like. This was so shiny that it was almost impossible to get the color to get stuck. But we leave it like that and see what happens. Here you can see the difference between where it has been colored in different shapes and where it has been the part where I don't have enough color. I like these differences. Just lining out these leaves. Also just for fun. Just a bit of greenish so we get this nice feeling of paint on paint. So then let's make a background so we can make some leaves from I have these die cuts from Tim Holtz with beautiful small leaves that I'm going to use in the journal. So I want to have some kind of fall background to cut them out. So let's give them some water first. So let's go in with the green first. Still have a few green leaves so that we have a kind of ground to start with. Then we can give them the shape and the color of fall. This is watercolor paper, but it's just 200 grams and a cheaper brand. So it's not cotton paper. I don't use that for just these times when I play and make fodders and things like that. So some brownish leaves. See if we can make something orange. Not if you dip it in the pink, then you don't get orange. Don't be afraid to go in with a lot of color. Okay, I think you can leave it like that. So I'm going to leave this to dry and then I will be back so we can cut out some leaves and use as decorations. So these papers that we made, I took one of them and printed out these leaves with my Tim Holtz die. And as you can see, they are much more fun than if you cut them out in white. So this is a tip if you want to have leaves that look more natural, that you paint your papers before you cut them out. But you can also do like this. just take your leaf, put it down and draw around it, and then you get your own leaves. And I just took the paper we made and put down my leaves, and then I put another layer of green on top of it and a little bit of salt that I think are dried now. So if you don't have any of these dyes, you can do your own leaves by go out in the garden, find your leaves, and just draw around them with a pen like this. Let's do another one with the brown paper I have over here, so you can see how I do it. Let's take another leaf so we don't have the same all the way around. This was a little difficult, can't lay it flat. So take something that is waterproof so that you can draw around it and then put on some more water if you would like to. So I'm just taking my pen and do a line. Move my pen a little wiggly so it looks more natural. You can follow the leaf shape and make your own stencils or die, or what you want to call it. Like that. And then you have your leaf. So let's take another one. Let's do two. See if I have something that is small enough. That one maybe. This was a little bit bigger. This is from Lilacs. These are very easy to do. They don't have any wiggled edges, just straight on. Draw the line like that around it. These are perfect to use as journaling cards, so you can take a paper with a white or non-patterned back and make your own. So just to make them a little bit more kind of in the same color, looking more natural, I'm going to go in with a little bit of more paint. I'm using sap green and a little bit of Van Dyke brown and black. That way I get this kind of olive green. And we're going to cut this out, so you don't need to be especially careful by the lines. You can go over it and just splash in the colors. I'm going to a little bit more of the brownish, as I'm going to use this in a neutral journal. This is just a piece of craft paper or wrapping paper that is strong, and I have gessoed it and painted on it a bit earlier. So before these are totally dry, I'm going to go in and make some veins. And you can of course do them like fall leaves, a bit more orange and kind of more like this style of leaf, or if this one was green and more like fall colors on them. Then I'm just taking a piece of a stick. This is from a willow tree. I have just sharpened it in one edge, and then I will take a leaf. So I have a little bit of, and then I'm just taking my stick and I'm drawing it through the color. It's a bit shiny, I can't see. Then I'm just making some veins like this. And the same on the other one, going straight from the top and down. Then I'm just going out to the side so it looks like veins. And if you do this when it's wet, you will probably get a white line, and if you do it when it's a bit drier, you can get a line that is a bit more colored. Did I say it right now? If the color is wet, it will be dark, and if the color is almost dry, it will be white. That's right, say. Okay. So let's leave these to dry a little bit, and we can do some of the other decorations that I showed you in the little recording we had. As a little teaser for this. So the other type of decorations that I did was these fungi or mushrooms. I'm not sure if you call all of these for mushrooms or if some of them are fungi. And I have just loosely drawn and painted some blueberry. Another kind of mushroom or fungi. Fantasy one. On this I tried to use masking fluid, but I have probably not used it for a while, so it was a bit dry. So these small white circles turned blue. This was another kind of loose flowers I did. A couple of those. Did a little bird. Birdie birdie. And a flower. and another one of these. And you can use these as journaling cards. That's kind of perfect. And you can do them as fun as you want. You can do them kind of turquoise or pink or green or blue or whatever you want. I'm going to use some in the neutral journal, so I decided to use soft colors when I did them. So should we try? You can do this, all of you can draw these fun small mushrooms. So I'm starting with the big hat. I think it's easiest to kind of start on top. And you draw a line and then you do half a circle up like this. And you have your mushroom hat. And then I'm going to put down the foot. And this is a little bit of a rounded kind of foot on this one. Maybe not so small. A little bit more thick maybe. Like that. You can always erase. That works. So then I'm doing the other foot, as this is a kind of in front of the other one. Something like that. And here you can see that the foot is going up, so you can see a bit the under the hat of the mushroom. So then we do the foot like that. And then again do kind of a line, but you do it on both sides of this. And then again half a circle. Now I think I will go a bit behind this one, so we can do like this, and then little half circle going round like that. And then the hat. Another half circle that will go on top of this. And you have your two cute little mushrooms. And of course they don't stand straight, and you don't need to do them perfect in any way. So you can do this. Anyone can do a mushroom. Promise you, go and try. And to do them a little wiggly and a little like they are in the movement, that's just more fun. And as we are going to cut these out, I sometimes do kind of grass. It's easier to have a kind of straight line like this to cut later on. So time to paint. And I'm going again for some neutrals, and I'm taking some water with a little bit of dirty water so you can see. And I'm just painting all of the foot. And the same on the other one. Going in with some dirty water. You can absolutely use clean water, but this is just so you can see how I do it. So then I'm taking some color and I put it up here, so this will kind of be a shadow, and it probably is shadow from the other one, so the foot is a bit darker from on this side. The same on this one, it's dark under the hat, and we can actually do kind of a little, so we can see a little bit from under this one too. Something like that. Then the hats are going to be darker, so I'm using Van Dyke brown and some black, and I'm doing the same, wetting my brush. You can go in with the water first if you want to, but now I'm kind of going ahead a bit, so I'm leaving a little bit of white here and there, just to kind of make it look more 3D and shiny. And the same on this hat. And again leaving some small white space. Something like that. And then I'm just going in, dabbing in some darker color here and there, so we get a bit uneven. Looks more natural. Can also do like this and just splatter on some water on them. Makes them look a bit more natural. Then I'm taking very diluted water and put it a little bit under this, and you can wait until it's dry if you're unsure, so you don't spread all this dark. You can do this when it has dried. So something like that, really easy. And then you can decide if you want your grass to be green or if you want to have it in some other color. And I'm doing the same, going in with some light color first. And on this one I did kind of some blueberries or something, some berries. So it's just your own imagination that sets your boundaries. taking some less diluted color and just doing the same on this one. I'm going in with some parts that are a little bit darker to get some, just to get some differences. And make it looks more natural. And then when these have dried, I'm just doing some lines to make it looks like they are rounded, and just a few lines like it is some shadowing under this. And then you have your mushrooms. So should we do something more? Should we maybe try the blueberries? These are really easy to do. So start with the berries and make a cluster. That's I think that's most easy. So I'm starting with one blueberry, and don't make them totally round because they are not totally round. So I'm doing a couple of blueberries and putting them a little bit together, but still not. And then you can do one that are a bit behind and another one that is a bit more behind. And then you can put one up here that is a bit smaller one. And as I have done here, another small one there. And then we can do another cluster down here. With some blueberries. You can use your masking fluid here if you would like to for the small eyes on the berries. Concentrating. Gets totally quiet. This should feel like a bit of calm and therapeutic. If you would like to have these kind of more in different colors, you can paint them separately. Leave some of them to dry and then do another color on the other one. I'm going to go in with the fine liner later on and kind of do lines around them, so I don't care so much. Pulling in some color on some of them. So then green again, or if you would like to maybe do them, the stems brown. I'm doing something in the middle. If you want it neat, you can wait to do all the leaves until the blue has dried. So you don't get any blue in the green and green in the blue. But then again, this is small decorations for fun. So it's nothing kind of life and death. We are just having fun. You can also go in and erase more of these lines if you would like to. If you don't like the look of fine liner. I like the line and wash, so for me it's no problem. Depending on which paper you use, it dries more or less fast, so and the same on this one. Don't do every leaf in the same color. Do them lighter and darker and bent on in different ways. That looks more like the real thing if you're going for that. It's still a fantasy painting and having fun, so And you can leave that to dry, and then the same with this one. We're going in with lines on them later on. And you can do the same with this one. You can take a stick and just kind of make some veins if you would like to. Like that, and we can leave that to dry too, so then we can go in with the fine liner when it's totally dried, because if you go in too early with your fine liner you will ruin it. It do not like to get wet. They are dry, so let's go in with a fine liner and make some lines. And as I said, I'm doing these kind of rounded. I think I need to take a clip. Keep this down. So I'm just going around the hat like this, and I'm doing it roughly. And then I'm going up a little bit with some lines, just to kind of have the feeling that the hat is rounded. And then this kind of shade line, and again a little bit of rounding. To make it looks like we have a round foot and not flat. And the other one's hat, and the same, I'm going in with a little bit of small lines to make them look rounded. Now this was a little bit dark, so you might not see it well, but you understand my thinking maybe. And going around the berries. And again roughly. And depending on if you want to use these as journaling cards or if you want to have them as fodders that you kind of cut out, you can think about that when you do the stems and the leaves, that you do them a bit thicker so it's easier when you are going to cut them out. So you don't need to have this mini scissors and have problem to get them cut out. Like that. And you can do the same on the berries if you want to. Put in a little curved line on the side so that I can show you on this one. Let's say we have a berry here, and to make it look more round you can just put a couple of like that, then you get the ball to look more rounded. Can even do it like that, like a little window. And the same on the hat on these mushrooms, that you're just doing a little shaped way of make it look like you have a round foot and a round hat. It makes a big difference. So let's cut out the leaves we made. And if you have this kind of soft paper and you want it to look natural, you can go in and take your distress ink and make sure that the lines notch is shiny white. And when you put them down, you can kind of maybe squeeze them a little bit like this, so you don't glue them flat down. You can do them like this, and it will look totally different in your journal if you don't flatten them down. You can glue them like this with a little kind of air under them. And then you can also use them maybe with some of the other die cuts, so you can have more leaves together, and maybe even a fern going with the leaf like that, to make it looks like a cluster in the journal. And the same on this one, you can put a fern around them, maybe look more like they are in the forest. That's nice. You can even use these kind of plants from books, and use cutouts on them too, to make them a little more 3D. give them a little more. That's totally okay to play. It makes a big difference if you have more things around it, so then you have this 3D feeling. And again, you can, when you glue this in, you can give them a little bit of, lift them up and turn them a little bit and glue them down in different way. I will for sure show you that later on in the journal I'm making, so you can see some samples of that too. So this became a long recording, but I hope you got some ideas now, and don't be afraid, and feathers don't need to look realistic. You can just play, and like I did with this pink one, just do some fun ones and enjoy when you make them. They are yours, and you don't have to show anything for anyone if you don't like to. But if you do them, I would really like to see them. It's always fun to get other people's ideas. It's that kind of thing that makes us grow, when we can help each other, give each other ideas, and sometimes I just shake my head and think, why didn't I think about that perfectly sensitive idea that someone has? And I realized that it's so smart and so fun, but I didn't get the idea until I saw it. And I think it's so fun to maybe be able to give you some ideas if I can, or maybe give you a idea for some idea you want to do in a totally other way. But these are so beautiful to use as journaling cards and add them in small pockets in the journals. And as I said, it could be birds, it can be flowers, it can be leaves, it can be whatever you want, hearts, circles with in fun colors. So thank you so much for keeping me company today, and I hope you had fun with this little session of painting today. Thank you so much for watching, and see you soon again. Bye bye from Sweden.